Hey, we're live, and I'll host.
All
Okay.
right, podcast.
Welcome back.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Thanks for sitting there and waiting. This is right back from the commercial break.
Of like
Last
7
week.
You guys have had a week-long commercial break. I'm so sorry. You really should have changed the channel at some point.
I always liked it when cartoons had specific, like, we'll be back after this, and then like a little animation went, and then welcome back, and then another
Although
animation
it's
went.
super lame on Netflix when you're watching Pokemon. It's like, guess who this is? And it's a little silhouette, and then it's like, hey, it's Pikachu! And you're just like, that was so
Who's
pointless.
that
Just like-
Pokemon?
Like right away.
Yeah, like it's like,
It's like, oh
you
wait,
didn't give
don't
time
tell
to
me.
think.
I got this. Damn it, you just told me.
Yeah, it kind of defeats the point of that whole thing. But yeah, that happens. I watched like one episode, and
I don't know. That sounds like you watched a couple.
No, it was
Sounds like you
actually
probably watched about 100 episodes.
all of the ones they posted. Yeah. I guess there's a black and white series too. I didn't know that. So there's like a new series.
I knew that. And they
The-
brought back the who's that Pokemon?
Oh, that thing I just said, like with the silhouette and the question.
Yeah, they brought that back.
Awesome. Okay. So there you go. There's a little, hey, check it out on the internet. Watch those shows. There's an intro for you. Those are video game characters.
Speaking of intros,
Yeah.
this is the introduction to the top-down perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's a
What's
podcast.
today's date?
It is March 13th. St. Patrick's Day is at some point.
Yeah, Pi
In the
Day is
future.
tomorrow.
In the
So
future.
Oh yeah, it
math
is.
nerds get excited.
March the 4th be with you. That happened.
Oh my god. That's
That's
May
not a
the
thing.
4th.
It's
That's
not
happening at some point too.
even March the 4th. That's a new. Doesn't even. All right, I'm just like, what would you even do with that? Marching stormtroopers or something? But there's no. Doesn't even.
No, it's like May the 4th be with you.
Okay.
Top-down
Hey,
perspective,
guys.
your place for understanding jokes and humor.
Mm-hmm.
And or ruining them.
Or ruin, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I guess yeah. So I'll be the host this week. I'm Sean Booker, back from the frigid
sky.
north.
Yeah, we didn't even say where you went really. Just
Yeah. Well, I went home. I was in your guys' Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm back in San Francisco, sunny San Francisco. Can't wait to brag about it all the time.
Yeah.
To John Wheeler.
30 degrees.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for bragging about the warm weather. All the time.
Hey,
I'm
John.
wearing shorts right now.
I'm wearing pants. Take that.
Well, to be fair, I am wearing pants, but I rolled up the legs, so
Well, then, aren't you Mr. Impressive with your pants?
yeah, it's similar to a mullet in which I can go business or party. So, boss walks in the room, you
you're
roll down the
wearing
pants.
You're wearing
But
mullet
boss
pants.
turns around, leaves the room. You roll back those pants because party started.
So you're wearing mullet pants. Got it.
Got my mullet pants. Yeah, business on the bottom, kind of near your ankle where the pants end, but party just below the knee. You know what I'm saying? Shorts.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right, and that's Nathan Rohr.
Hey, I'm wearing pajamas and a blanket. So today's been busy.
And as you can see, the camera is switching back and forth this week.
Yeah, I was asking about that. Apparently, I shouldn't have selected anyone. It should have just. Yeah, I did it wrong. So sorry, everybody. Hopefully, it worked out last week, though.
I watched a bit of that show.
Okay.
And
we
like
do okay?
90% of the camera being on me, which was a little creepy.
For the
Yes.
first part.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, well, let's just get right into it then.
All right.
John, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Bravely Default still.
Did you finish
Cool.
that?
Yes and no.
Oh, I don't know. So
I
the credits
got
rolled, but
the bad ending, and I'm
There's
working on the
multiple.
true ending.
There's multiple.
Interesting. I know about the bad ending. I didn't do it, though, because I needed to get the true ending. And I
Yeah.
didn't want to waste my time, because the second half of that game is a waste of time.
Yeah.
Really? Like no quarter for it. It's
It's-
just bad idea.
Okay. Here, let me put it this way.
Okay.
If you don't do a single side quest in the second half of the game,
That's me.
it's stupid short.
No,
Okay.
that's
What?
it's not stupid
no,
short.
no, that's still pretty short.
It's not that short.
The actual story missions I've been cakewalking through.
But
then again, I'm also like
but
level.
the actual story missions are bullshit.
Well, okay, the fact that what you have to do is yes bullshit, but
That's really what I meant. Like, that's the repetitive thing you were talking about, where you just
yeah,
do
the
the
problem
same
we can't specifically state what it is because it completely spoils the game.
It's the entire back half of the game, so you don't want to say it. But
thing. Okay.
yeah, I actually finished it. I actually have my review written. I just need to give it another once over. I was gonna put it up tonight, but I got busy, so I don't know when that's gonna go up. Maybe after this. But yeah, I'm gonna have a review very soon of that.
Yeah, the ending, they're like the alternate ending, honestly, not that bad because all you have to do is just do one dungeon after you do the specific thing for it. And then that's it. It's like one dungeon, 2 boss fights, and then it puts you right back to where you were in that previous chapter. So so I didn't lose any progress at all. I just took like a detour, for lack of a better term.
Right, but I understand in the bad ending you actually can't win. Like you lose no matter what happens. Is that true?
Not really, unless there's a third ending.
Okay.
It's one of those technically, it alludes to something else that you're missing basically, and then puts you back to where you are to get that correct ending.
Okay.
Like I said,
we'll have to discuss it offline.
Yeah, we'll discuss it offline because I don't even want to spoil it here. But
sure.
yeah,
I feel like with the amount of time we've spent dodging around this, we got to do a spoiler cast, you and I.
We'll have to at some point. Yeah.
Cool. I'd be up for that.
I am level 98, and I have not been grinding at all. I'm just literally am now level 98. I'm at the tail end of chapter 6.
Okay, so you still got another 2 chapters to go. It's either 2 to go or 2 and the final to go. So 2 or 3.
Oh, don't tell me that. I was hoping to have this thing done for Yoshi tomorrow, but apparently Yoshi's not worth it. So I mean.
Yeah, I'm hearing some bad stuff. I should be getting that in the mail any day now. I'll just say a quick thing with me is I got to the final boss around low 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing on easy because I just needed to get that game done with.
Yeah.
And I could not beat the final form of the boss. I could get up to the final form every time, basically taking no damage with my strategy, but then the boss has this one attack that would do about 4,500 damage and would kill everyone but one person in my party. And if I just lucked out and he ever did it twice, which happened kind of often, I just can't beat him. It's literally impossible. So I put on a couple movies and I grinded on auto battle until I was level 99. And then beat it.
You grinded for 20-something levels?
Yeah.
At the end? Jeez.
Yeah, so that was a real fun experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I will give it the fact that there's auto battle was great. Because to be fair, I didn't do anything. The game just gave me 20 levels while I watched Gravity. So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Video games.
It is such a weird game. I had such a hard time reviewing that game.
Because highs and weird valleys and
yeah, the first half of the game
stretches.
is amazing. It's really good. The first half of the game is incredibly solid, and then I mean the gameplay and to me, I'm actually invested in the story. All the story beats for the game have been somewhat obvious, but I'm still kind of curious to see where it goes.
Well, I actually found that the first half of the game's story is garbage. But then when the big switch happens, it's like, oh, this is actually kind of interesting. And when you get to the final boss, it does some really cool stuff, story-wise. But then the gameplay fact is the opposite. It's totally fine and cool, and I love the battle system. And then you get to that second half of the game, and it's probably the worst game design I think I've ever seen.
It's a clever idea, though, but not in practice.
Maybe once it's clever.
In theory, yeah.
I don't want to talk about it, but yeah. We got to spoiler cast this thing at some point.
All right, you know what? I'm down for that.
I guess, so John, you played Xenoblade Chronicles, right?
Not too much of it, a little bit.
Oh. I guess I was just like, what is the, which is the JRPG of choice that, iterates on old ideas, but I don't know. I don't know why it comes down to those two.
This one does a great job of iterating on old ideas.
This is definitely more iterative on old ideas than Xenoblade. And Xenoblade, I would argue, is its own thing.
Oh, okay.
It takes more inspiration from MMOs, to be honest.
Hmm.
Bravely Default is more of, hey, remember that system from Final Fantasy 5, 6, those classic Final Fantasy games?
I do.
Here. Split that in a job system from like 5 and 1 and.
But then they also mix things up in some really cool ways.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff.
Like,
Shauna, did you have this happen to you? Like, you know how you can summon characters, right? Like other players.
yes.
I actually had a summon completely spoil one of the major plot elements for me. Someone literally.
Because what they said, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, like with the custom dialogue.
The custom dialogue. Their move was called spoiler warning, so I guess I shouldn't have been too shocked. But I needed the attack, so I used it, and it's just like major plot element. I'm like, oh, if I hadn't already figured that one out on my own.
Wow, that guy sucks. And was this just like a net friend, like a random?
Yeah, random net friend. It was just like spoiler warning.
That's what a weird trolling thing to do. But no, I did not have that happen. I had a lot of like foreign ones that was like they came in like Japanese or something. I didn't know what they said. I had one that was funny, but I can't remember what the person said. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to remember it.
I got
near the end of the game. I was kind of collecting net friend invites because I was like, I need help on this final boss.
Mm-hmm.
That was before I grinded 27 levels. But yeah, so it's kind of a blur at this point.
You did have the growth egg on, right? I assume so.
About halfway through that, I picked up the growth egg. Yes.
Oh my god! All right.
Is this auto battle thing something you can only do late in the game? Or
No, you can do it. You can do it throughout the game, but I think they only teach you about it in like chapter 2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you can do it whenever. Yeah, I don't even know when I figured it out.
Yeah, the game flat out tells you in a tutorial at like chapter 2 or 3, but you can do it right from the start. If you press the Y button, it just repeats the exact same inputs you put in previously.
Yeah,
okay.
And you can just leave that on, so basically you get into a fight, your characters will move in the way you had already set. So because I was in a dungeon that I knew I could beat them if I just used strong attacks, I just kept doing that, and I was able to just not watch the game as I killed everything.
Oh, okay. So you could kind of ruin this game's arc, like, or, path of progression for yourself.
That depends, because remember how I've been playing on hard, and I said I grinded, like, a lot early on? I got to a point where I was still getting destroyed. I had to, on purpose, grind after, like, just doing it for shits and giggles.
Like, does it kind of match your level then, to some extent?
I don't know. Some earlier JRPGs did that. I don't think anyone's figured out if Bravely Default does that yet. Like, in Final Fantasy VIII, like, the strength of the final boss, and I think the entire game depends on what level you are. So the game is actually easier with the less leveled up you are.
Oh, okay. I guess final hour count for,
High 40s, I believe.
Oh, God, I wish that's all the time I had spent on it. Fuck.
Like I said, I put on easy because after I got to that second half, I was like, I need to get moving. I need to do this. Let's go. I have a life.
If you give me about 10 seconds, I will give you a count.
Okay.
Yours is going to be dumb.
Yeah, mine is
Those dragons sucked, eh?
What?
The dragons?
No, they were pretty easy.
What? No, you even said last time you got killed.
Yeah, but then I moved on and didn't go back to them till the next chapter, and then they were a joke. Because then I actually realized how good Spirit Master is.
Hour count?
I forget which one Spirit Master is.
Spirit Master is the one that cancels out all like ailments. So like they can't confuse you, they can't weaken you to any element.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that makes those fights an absolute joke.
Yeah.
93 hours, 37 minutes, 18 seconds, level 98, chapter 6. Each character has about 12 jobs mastered.
Nice. It's almost like Skyrim time or something.
It's disgusting, and I really wish, as much as I like the game, I wish I had not spent that much time on it.
Just go finish the game. Just stop it.
That's what I'm doing now. I'm like, there's nothing else for me to do except like enjoy the story stuff and clear everything else. I'm at the point where the story's getting really good, so I just want to see like how they handle things. Also, the
final boss does some cool stuff. I'll say that.
The touch with the subtitle after you beat the game, really nice.
Yes. There's some cool stuff. Like the story picks up again.
Yeah.
So, but anyway. What else do you play?
Still recommend the game, but I mean, yeah, be warned. Don't play it on hard. I play Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Cool. Should be having a copy of that showing up soon too.
Nice.
I like it. I hear it's very hard.
Banana catching.
Things that are hard, so.
Bananas. How many bananas do you have?
They don't track bananas. You just get 100 bananas, then you get a balloon. and then you have to collect another 100 bananas to get another balloon.
Okay. Well, what is the thing you're getting to defeat the whatever? lizard
Nothing.
guy?
You're literally trying to get back to your island. What
it's
happens?
just
What
a
happens is
picture.
you get like taken away from your island, and then you have to work your way back to take it back.
Okay.
I have a question. Since it's called Tropical Freeze, does that mean there's a lot of ice levels? Because those usually suck.
Not at the beginning, but yes, they have shown in the opening cutscene. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of ice levels.
Man,
just
that's
dudes
like
throwing
one
snowballs
step
at you.
above
But
adding in
I-
a whole bunch
I
of the water
assume-
levels.
I assume that to be either the last world or the second last and last world.
Okay.
Like right now, I'm in like the actual tropical part of the game, so I'm like running through jungles and swimming through water.
Is
I know-
King K. Rool in it?
No, I don't know if like Rare just has the rights to it, or just Nintendo doesn't want to use them, or Retro doesn't want to use them. But I can't remember the name of them. They're like the Vikings, but it's a play on Vikings. It's not like the word Vikings.
Oh, okay. They're the ones causing problems.
Yeah.
Donkey Viking. I don't know. I can't think of a joke.
Whiz Pig or something.
Is Lanky Kong in it?
No,
Orangutan.
it's
That's
Chunky Kong.
Donkey, Did Dixie, Cranky, and Funky.
Hey, you don't need to remind me that Cranky Kong's in that. Not a minute goes by where I'm not thankful that we got Cranky Kong in that game.
When you play as him, is it legit kind of like DuckTales or no? Pogo.
Yeah, it kind of is. I
guess where are you? Is what we should be.
I'm only in the first world. Like I'm just getting all the secrets. I didn't get to play it much. I played it pretty much just before we got to the podcast.
Mhm.
But I like it. It fixes one of my main gripes with the Wii version, but I don't know about the other one yet.
Shaking and.
Yeah, I hated the fact that you had to shake the roll. I thought that was the dumbest thing.
Mhm.
Now it's just a button press, which is a lot easier.
Okay.
It's still a little weird that like I played through all the original Donkey Kong Countries. I love the original Donkey Kong Country series. And in that one, rolling was also the run button. Now rolling is a separate button, so it's a little weird to get used to, but I mean, it's not that hard. My other issue I had with the original Donkey Kong Country Returns was the bouncing off enemies mechanic. You had to keep re-tapping the B button before you hit an enemy to actually get like the full height off a bounce, and for some reason that didn't feel right to me. It kept screwing me up when I played the original.
Mhm.
I haven't gotten to a point where I need to test that in this one yet, but it seems like that might not be an issue, or the timing has improved. I don't know.
Hmm.
That is a level of Donkey Kong Country that I am not a part of. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried speedrunning the first stage earlier. There's a speedrun mode for each stage, and there's a leaderboard, which shocked me. And you can download replays of the top scores on the leaderboard to see how they do
like
it.
internet features.
I know, in a
It's
Nintendo
nuts.
game, like holy shit.
Oh, dude. All
So
right.
I watched like the first stage playthrough, and like everyone in the top 10 uses Cranky Kong, and it was actually really entertaining to watch because there's long jumping in the game. There's like certain jumps you have to do to keep your momentum on certain things. It was really interesting to watch.
Hmm.
But yeah, it seems like there's like a little like a high level of play in that game that wasn't quite prevalent in the other ones, unless you just got really deep into the mechanics.
That's cool. I heard this game gets like really hard, so. That's,
Yeah,
that's
I am
kind of the
excited to see.
rumblings I've been seeing.
I'm excited to see how difficult the game actually gets.
But
Can we
like,
just all agree that Lanky Kong is the best of them all?
No.
What?
He
When
was
that
kinda
guy
fun.
jumps, he swings his arms around to go a little further.
yeah,
That's
he's
awesome.
okay. I didn't dislike Lanky Kong at all, but I don't know if he's my favorite. I don't know if I have a favorite.
And when he punches, he does like a stretchy double arm punch.
Mhm.
That guy's the best.
I think the screen warps all weird during his part of the theme song too. That's kind of cool, but I don't know. Graphically, is it blowing your mind? Is it Wii U?
It looks really
HD
nice.
powers?
Are you playing on the TV or the gamepad?
On the gamepad.
Okay, how come?
Because I would be in the room half the time I'm playing it. It like if I'm doing other things, I'm like, all right, I got to stick around here for a bit. So I guess I'll just play the game on my controller.
Okay. Just like uploading a video or something. You're just like,
Yeah, but if I'm like, all right, I got a lot of free time, I'm gonna shut down the computer and I'm just gonna hang out in the living room and play it. Then I'll play on the TV. So just
Okay.
haven't played enough to literally be like, all right, go into the TV this time.
any checkpointing problems creeped up for you?
Not
Like-
not yet. From what I remember, the only stages that didn't have checkpoints were the Kong stages, which are the secret stages you get if you pick up the KONG letters in every other stage. And those are where the real challenges in the game. but I haven't
Yeah, I
gotten
look forward to
them
playing
yet,
it.
so. Yeah, I think you'll like it. It's good.
Okay.
And that's it
I
for me.
wasn't a huge fan of the first one. It just kind of just didn't do anything for me. Like I didn't.
The SNES game, or what do you
No,
mean?
the Wii one, the first Returns.
But it had that silhouette stage that you really liked.
No, I really liked the silhouette one. I thought that was super cool looking. But it just apart from that, it was just like I just kind of find this like whatever. Another platformer.
Yeah. But hey.
All right, that looks like that's all you played, John.
Yeah,
Frozen
that's
bananas.
it for me.
All right, so let's go on to Nathan's list.
Hey, it's kind of not a lot of gaming this week, but I started messing around with Jack Lumber. Have you
That
guys
game's
played-
real on what? That game's good.
just on the computer. Like, it's just like, hey, I got like 10 minutes or something. Let's just.
I
jump in
first
here and
played that
flex some
game
logs.
at PAX 2012.
Okay.
2012? Yeah. And I played it on the iPhone. I like that game a lot. I think it's fun and it's funny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of Fruit Ninja-esque, right? But like precise cuts and whatever.
Right, you stop
combos.
time when they're in the air and you have to hit logs in certain ways.
Yeah,
But-
and like the
And that
story.
beaver has like I forget what the PR person said, but she was like I think it was at least over 100 like log themed puns.
Okay.
This is the one you were really excited about from PAX, wasn't it?
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
I think
now.
was
Yeah,
there
yeah.
a button that just said "fuck trees" or something?
What?
I
Like,
don't think so. This is
before-
a family-friendly game.
But like before they got a publisher, I thought they were being a little more crass about it. Cause like
No.
dude is pissed at trees because they killed his grandma, so
No,
he's got
that's
he's
funny,
gotta kill the tree.
But I don't think so because even at PAX, it was still in the Sega booth, so they always had a publisher.
well, you could put like F, like asterisk, you know, like blank it out. Or
That
something.
doesn't
I thought
sound
it was-
familiar at all. That'd be funny, but either way, yes, the guy's grandmother was killed by trees,
Okay,
and that's
I'm
why he
gonna-
wants to chop them all down.
Sure. Regardless, yeah, it's pretty funny stuff, and I don't know, it's a nice little time killer. It would make a lot more sense on a phone. That's where I have it. I think it was in a bundle at some point, or it was very cheap during a Steam sale, and I was like, oh, I heard this was good. So, yeah. I'm not sure how far I am. I'm at a point where I'm pretty much only getting bronze on everything because I'm not doing very good.
There's a like final level and stuff, so
Oh, well, yeah, it seems like they're building up to, like, there's a boss tree that you need to defeat.
yeah.
But, yeah, and, like, that kind of weird mythos. And, what is it? Lumberjack and Lumberjill is kind of, there's this other person.
Yeah, there's a
kinda-
story going on and whatnot.
Yeah, she has her own reasons for wanting to take down the mystical tree, but I don't know. It's kind of fun. Threes has become just like my podcast game. Like I'll just mess around with that when I'm listening to stuff for a long time. I have yet to get beyond like 20-ish thousand points, which is frustrating to me now. So I just want to break through that next level and do that. But
Did you see so it was like their not anniversary. Maybe it was just because it came out on Android, as you pointed out in the doc.
yeah, this.
But they
week.
put out a little infographic as well about just some facts relating to threes,
Okay.
and it was just like the number of people that have reached, like the percentage of people that have reached this tier and whatnot. I guess you didn't see it.
No.
Might be worth a look. Kind of some interesting stuff.
Like, is the 1500-ish range like that pretty rare?
I
company,
can't.
or-
I don't even remember specifically.
Oh, okay. But I don't know. That game's still simple and fun, and since the patch it's kind of made it a little more manageable with the.
It's also on
big
sale
numbers.
again at the moment.
For how much? Like $2 or
$1.99,
something?
just like
One-
the release price.
Okay.
But yeah, it's on Android, so
yeah.
grab it if you haven't.
Yeah,
you're
if
on
people have
Android.
been listening and be like, "Oh, it's a cool puzzle game. Too bad I can't play it." It's totally available now in more places. So yeah. And just today, I played through most of Remember Me.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
How short is that game?
Apparently, I've played like 4 hours of it. I am on episode 6, and I'm told there are 8 episodes. So I think I'm like 3/4 through it, and like a pretty major plot
That's
point
math.
just happened. So I think I'm kind of getting there. Yeah, it's an action game that came out last year that I was kind of just intrigued by, just because it's like, oh, an original like new story. Like this isn't a sequel to anything. This is just an action game that has no precedent. So sure, whatever. And sci-fi, and like the one thing I was hearing about it was kind of in comparison to Arkham Origins with like the crime scene reconstruction stuff. Like there was scrubbing through footage of stuff that happened
Okay.
and like recreating memories or whatever. But they actually handle that pretty differently in this game. it's almost like they're very kind of confined, almost puzzle sections, but I still kind of like them. There's only been like 3 so far in the whole game though. But basically, your character has the ability to kind of adjust people's memories because in this version of the future in 2084, everyone kind of stores their memories on like this external hard drive attachment thing on the back of their head because you can get like HD video of your entire life that way. So why wouldn't you do that? So she can tinker with that and kind of change people's memories and thus motivations. So it's just like, oh wait, no, I don't actually hate you. Like it'll just kind of change how they feel because you messed with their memory. And it's just like, okay, sure.
What's stopping anyone from messing with anyone's memory?
You have you're pretty much unique on this. Although actually, there is a big company. Like I kind of just want to compare them to Apple. But whatever. There's a big company that has all the devices, like they make all the devices that everyone loves so much, but they also have the ability to kind of scrub the memory of anybody. So that's kind of a weird power they hold over people, and your character's not into that, and you and this kind of resistance movement are kind of trying to shut it down. Like the things it does well is mostly I just kind of like the look of their future world. Like it's kind of reminding me of that. Like, I know this isn't a great example, maybe, but that new Total Recall movie, I know it wasn't very good, but the production design on the robots and stuff, like, I thought it looked pretty sharp. Or maybe, like, Elysium or something. Like, it's got kind of a well-thought-out futurescape that I just, like, it's like the scenery's nice, and that just kind of makes it okay to play through. What you're actually doing, though, is kind of like the pacing of it is really reminding me of like an Uncharted or something. It's a lot of like there's a combat scenario, then you're doing some climbing and jumping and stuff, and then you get into another kind of combat scenario. However, the combat is not mostly shooting focused. It's kind of a brawler beat 'em up kind of thing, with combat that is sort of reminding me of Arkham, but maybe a little more mashy than that, and there's no countering. But you're still kind of dealing with a bunch of dudes at all times and jumping over them to evade and kind of... I guess the one twist on it is, like, you can assign whether or not you regen a little bit of health when you land a hit or if it reduces your cooldown on your special abilities and stuff. Like, you can basically modify what the combos do for you. And there's kind of instances where you'll run into an enemy that if you punch them, it hurts you. So you want to have healing on all of your punches, so you're healing to negate that negative effect. Just stuff like that. I don't know. At its best moments, it is just like cool to listen to and look at while you're just kind of punching a bunch of dudes. Like the soundtrack's kind of cool, and they have a bunch of like weird digital distortion effects and stuff. And then just the kind of futurescape looks kind of nice. So I ended up, going through a lot of it today, just kind of having a decent time.
I've been interested in that game. I've been hearing some like half decent things, so I've been wanting to play it.
Yeah, it's kind of half decent is about right. Like, when it came out, it's like it's like a full price $60 thing. I think I ended up getting it for like $15-20 during a Steam sale, and I feel totally fine about that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think that was also PlayStation Plus last month.
Okay,
Yeah,
actually you're right. So if you can, like, it's like kind of not something you should have like, oh, it's a must-play game, you need to track this down. But if it's like there, you might as well take a look at it. Like they introduced the remix feature within.
There's
like,
a back of the box quote. If
yeah,
it's there,
exactly.
You might as well take a look at it.
Like, if you're just bored one day and you could do worse, like I don't know.
You're selling everyone on this game right now.
No. It's like, I guess just play the first hour. Like that'll kind of give you a good idea of like what the game is comprised of, and you get to see the first remix section, which was kind of the cool thing that I enjoyed doing the most. So
is remix the like the scrubbing through evidence?
Yeah,
thing?
they call it. Yeah, you're just remixing their memories, so it's just totally changing their motivations and stuff. It's kind of a neat little idea. And I don't know. I'm kind of a sucker for sci-fi though, so that's definitely helping my case as well. But yeah, it's been pretty good, and it looks visually pretty cool. So yeah, there was one instance where I ran into an audio bug, like the sound just stopped happening after a point, which is kind of too bad because you want to be hearing that. So that ended a play session I was doing, but for the most part, it's held up, like no frame rate weirdness or anything. But again, that's on computers, so your mileage may vary, but it's fun. It's a decent decent game. And that's it for me this week. I didn't set aside a lot of time for playing games. We watched a lot of TV around here, television shows with detectives.
Sure.
So yeah.
I guess
Sean?
just briefly mentioning the week before, I played through Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had reviewed that. There's a review up on a comic
We
book bin.
guessed that would probably be your game of the week last week.
I didn't get the end of it. Yeah, because that episode was probably one of my favorite episodes of The Walking Dead so far.
Okay.
Yeah, just to, I know you guys already talked about it, but just my 2 cents. I thought it started off really strong. I thought it ended really strong, and I thought it had a super heartwarming moment in between. Like, I thought the pacing was just really great. So.
Okay. I ended up just kind of getting mired in like comparing Japanese like adventure game like ideas to this one because I was like also in the midst of Zero Escape, so I don't know. I didn't really elaborate, but yeah, or rather I won't this time because I already said all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I quite enjoyed it. This week I've been playing another adventure game, Professor Layton and the Azran Legacy.
Is it better than that last one?
Ooh.
The last one.
Because you didn't. I thought Miracle Mask. You weren't really.
Wasn't super feeling. Yeah, I don't know. It's so far about the same. I'm only about 4.5 hours into this one. It seems like you're going to be jumping around the world a lot, so even less kind of sense of place. So I don't know how exactly I'm going to feel about this one. The best Layton is easily still that fourth one because you get Tiny Town in it or whatever.
Okay.
And also, I just prefer the art style on the DS ones. But you know, same great visuals, same great music. It's it's basically another Layton game so far. I haven't really seen anything stick out.
So wait, what is it they did to the art style? Are they like 3D models now?
They're now models when they went to the 3DS one, just so they could point out the 3D aspect more. And the big thing I don't like about this, and I mentioned this, last year or I guess 2 years now, when I was playing Miracle Mask, is instead of like searching things on the bottom where your stylus is, you're now just kind of scrubbing around an empty space on the bottom and then looking at a representation of where your stylus is on the top screen. Similar to how, like, remember on the DS, like Nintendogs, you were actually petting the dog, but when they brought it to the 3DS, they wanted the 3D to be where the dog is, so you're technically petting nothing, but there's a representation of your hand where your stylus is on the top screen, so it shows you petting the dog. So it's basically almost wasting a whole screen just so it can get that 3D advantage. It kind of does that again with Layton, which just kind of sucks. But, it's a small gripe, but whatever. So yeah, Professor Layton, nothing really standing out too much so far. It seems to be another Professor Layton game. I do like those, but maybe they've kind of, they're not really doing anything special anymore.
Like
so
slowly petering out.
Yeah, and I even started feeling that with the last one. It's like, they're really not changing this at all. But at the moment, this is the last one. There are no other ones out in Japan except for that Ace Attorney one. So that seems interesting at least. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
I also briefly played a game called, and I don't even really know how to pronounce this, Okuoni?
Okay.
Okuoni?
I was gonna say like Oconee or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a game I was following kind of on the App Store, and it went free last week, so I picked it up. What's really cool is its art style. It's all like black and white, cross-hatching, cartoony look to it. It is a puzzle game, and you play it, and like the characters are all these like weird, I don't know, like kind of Alice in Wonderland style twist. Like a Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland style twist on animals. So there'll be a rabbit, but his teeth will be like too big, and you'll look like he's like sick or something. You know what I mean?
It's like darkish fantasy.
Kind of darkish a bit, but
Okay.
at the same time cartoony. So very Tim Burton-esque kind of art style to it.
American McGee.
I don't really like it because it
Okay.
doesn't explain enough of what to do. From what it just starts you and it tells you nothing on what to do. It just, you're there and you have to start moving around. And it's basically a tile system in which you just kind of move your character from one room to the next, trying to collect 3 of the same pieces by talking to random people. and then when that happens, you transform into what the piece represented, and now you can go through a door that had that thing on. But I don't know if I'm just stuck or if I'm even doing the right thing, but it didn't tell me enough, and I got frustrated. And I even tried it twice, and it's just... no thanks. Like, you look cool, but no thank you. I'm done with your game. I'm glad it was free.
Okay.
I'm also playing Halfbrick's new game, Bear vs. Art.
That name alone, pretty awesome.
So are you a
the
bear
people who-
eating paintings?
The people who brought you Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride,
Yeah.
Halfbrick, came out with a game called Bear vs. Art, where the intro and the trailer is narrated by the Stanley Parable guy.
Ooh. All right, I'm sold.
It's very microtransaction heavy. In fact,
No.
no, let me rephrase that. It's very transaction heavy because what they want you to buy costs a lot of money. For example, well, actually, one step back. I'll tell you how you play the game. It's basically those slide puzzles that you would see in like the Pokemon games when you're in an ice dungeon, where if you move one direction, you go all the way until you hit a wall or something.
Oh, okay, that's not
That's
what
basically
I
how
thought
it
you
works. Because
That's-
you're in... The bear hates art because, I guess, if I remember correctly, and it was this whole big rhyme that the English guy was saying, I think they put up a museum in his home forest, and he was like, why is this museum here? And he went to look, and there was people just standing around looking at art. And he's like, what? That's why you're ruining the forest? Is for this garbage? So he wants to destroy all the art.
Okay.
So every level, the bear's just in a room, and then you can go, either adjacently or diagonal. And when you move, he'll roll, so he'll just keep moving until he hits a wall. And if you stop on a tile where there's art beside, then it gets kind of Fruit Ninja-y, where the art will come up, and you have to slash it apart.
With your bear claws, and just...
With your bear claws. But the thing is that the painting doesn't move. So it's just kind of dumb and annoying to have to do it. Every now and then a little chest will come across the screen. If you slash it as well, you get extra coins. But that's like one in every 15 things of art. So it's almost like this game's for little kids who like to slap the screen a bunch or something. I don't know. Like it's.
Oh,
got
there's
to the
nothing
point where I'm like
satisfying to slashing it. It's just kind of tedious.
It's gotten to the point where it's just tedious. Like I don't get anything extra for it. I don't know if slashing it fast gets me more coins, but I don't really care about coins. I'm kind of looking at it more just, I want to see if I can move the bear properly because it's a puzzle game. But it's taken a while to ramp up. It's pretty easy. I'm only on World 2, but even then, there was like 25 levels to World 1. Anyway, you use your coins, and every time you get to a certain amount of levels, you unlock more abilities that you can purchase for real money, not in-game coins. So if you get to like level 14, you can purchase get one additional move, because some of the puzzles will be like, can you clear out all the paintings in only 8 moves? But to purchase this power, it's like $15.
Oh.
Which is why I say this isn't really microtransaction heavy, it's just transaction heavy.
Like that's just a big transaction.
That's just a huge transaction. And it gives you a bunch of in-game coins to buy other dumb things, which from what I've looked at, you can only spend coins on costumes, and it's 1,000 coins for one random costume thing that will give you a benefit. I'm on World 2, and I've only gotten 1,000 coins once so far, and I got a tiara that lets me have 2 extra seconds on timed stages. Or I could have spent $15 and gotten something else. It's weird. It doesn't really shove that in your face, which is kind of nice, but at the same time, it's just like, who is spending this kind of money on this stupid little game? What it does cram down your throat is it really wants you to rate them, or join their Facebook, or tweet about them, or join whatever the Halfbrick network is, so you can challenge your friends. Which I don't understand why Game Center doesn't just do that. Isn't that what Game Center is for? But they made their own proprietary leaderboard.
Yeah.
Social network thing that, what? The game's free, though, so I can't get too angry because I didn't pay anything for it.
Right.
And I don't plan to spend $15 on any of its garbage.
Or is each
You
painting
don't
unique, or do you
Or you
see a
don't
lot
need
of
to, right?
repeats?
I don't even think they really have art on them. However, when you do finish a level, it'll tell you what the most valuable painting you smashed was, and it's usually a pun, like
Okay.
Mona Barra or something, or Barra Lisa or something like that.
I
One
got
of them, actually, sorry, no, the paintings are unique because I remember one was a painting of a bear destroying a painting of a bear destroying a painting of a bear destroying a. And I just did that, like, when you put two cameras or two mirrors together, which I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty funny. Like, way to go. And the other funny thing is some of the stages will be like destroy all the humans that are in the art gallery at this time, and they'll kind of run around, so it's harder to like run into them. But when you destroy them, it'll be like the snootiest art viewer you destroyed was this, and they'll give you a name, and he was a 98% of snootiness.
Okay.
Or they'll do funny little things like there's thieves sometimes in the art gallery, so they'll have paintings that you have to run into in order to destroy. But they'll do a cutscene of like, wait, is that a thief running away with a painting? And the other person's like, no, I think that's also art, and it's an expression of removing the art. And he's like, oh, that's fascinating. And they do all this like jokes on modern art and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, like, I don't even know if I recommend it.
I'm looking at some footage of it now. I don't know. It's vertically oriented, yes. One button
Yes.
thing like that looks potentially okay, but I don't know.
Might be worth like a glance. It is free. It's also like a great if you're looking for a reminder of how good Fruit Ninja is. Bear versus Art is an ideal candidate for that.
Okay. So you're saying after it you'll just want to play Fruit Ninja some more, or?
Yeah, or you'll just be like, man, Fruit Ninja was way better than this.
I'm sure that's what developers love to hear.
Glowing review.
Yeah. It's not as good as that other game you made, but
It's not as good as either of the other games they made.
yeah.
But Fruit Ninja's still the best.
Okay.
That Connect Fruit Ninja is a lot of fun. But let's move on to the news.
Okay. That's it for games played. March 13th, 2014. What news we got this time around? I know about like 2 of these. Well, now I know about all of them, but
Right. I guess most of these are super short. Not a ton of news I noticed happened this week. 999 is coming to iOS on Monday, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Monday.
okay.
So Nathan, are we doing a spoiler cast?
We can. Like, I mean, kind of wish you played Virtue's Last Reward too. Cause
I know. I was gonna say. So if we do it, you need to be careful of what you're talking about because you can only talk
Right.
about one of the games.
That's right. But yeah, we could. It might not be like as long as some of our prior spoiler casts because I don't know what we'd really dwell on. But sure, we can kick off 999's. We'll spoil this new iOS game for people. So don't listen to it if you just picked up the latest version. But
It'll probably be a pretty good price though. I can't see it being more over $10, right?
yeah, which
So-
that's a good deal. I paid $25, and I felt good about it.
I also
so-
paid $25. Yeah. Actually, I think I paid $20.
Okay.
Gone Home is coming to consoles.
Yeah, these next 2 stories are actually kind of related. Midnight City, which I know you're thinking, the M83 song. No, there's actually a company that is porting stuff for people, and they are doing the Gone Home console port. Which console is it coming to, though? Is it the next gen or PS4? Was it?
I have no idea. I
Okay.
just saw the headlines. I didn't actually read these.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's
Um,
a video. No idea.
I'm pretty sure,
Not that.
yeah, it's like next gen stuff. But I did watch this trailer, but then I forgot about it. And yeah, Christmas Duck is right there. Yeah, Gone Home. It was on 2 of our lists last year, wasn't it? For best.
It was on my
things.
list. Yeah, it wouldn't have been on
I
John's.
think it was number
No.
6 or something for me. So yeah, it's an interesting game, and now more people can play it. But yeah,
And then
Midnight
how does
City
this
is
relate
also,
to Costume Quest 2 being announced?
They're working on that as well. Their
Yeah, but
logo. was up.
Midnight City is working on that?
Midnight City's working on that. Yeah.
So it's not being developed by Double Fine.
I mean, some Double Fine folks must be working on it. I
They're
guess.
supervising it or something like that. I know they are involved in the development of it.
Yeah, it sounds like they'll be kind of producers or something. I know the original creative director isn't there anymore, Tasha Harris, but she was talking about it. I was kind of keeping an eye on her Twitter because it was like, does she know about this? Because she invented this. And it's like, okay. She says thumbs up. So, yeah, there's a pretty funny trailer. Tim Schafer kind of doing his goofy thing and them hashing out new game ideas. And, yeah, Costume Quest, which is kind of weird because I'm hearing a lot of people talk about Costume Quest lately because they're comparing it to the South Park game.
Right, which I
Yeah,
plan to play at some point.
That's an apt comparison, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah. But I don't know. Costume Quest is cool. I never played that Christmas DLC.
Which
I
I
forgot
hear
that.
actually had a really cool cliffhanger.
Oh, so maybe this was always in the works then. It's like,
Yeah, so that just makes me want to play that Christmas DLC because I didn't know there was anything interesting about that.
yeah, I think I have it now. I'm pretty sure it was in a Double Fine bundle at some point.
Probably, yeah.
So I should probably see if I have that. But yeah, there you go. That's a cool game. Hopefully the sequel is good too. News.
And this last story, just announced today, is Amazon has announced Amazon App Stream,
Okay.
and as part of it, they want to not only stream, like videos and stuff like they do now, they want to stream games.
Okay.
They don't say what type of games, but they're already streaming all kinds of movies, and people are already looking into Sony's looking into streaming games with Gaikai.
Mhm.
It seems like Amazon could have a real shot at making some money off this or providing something pretty nice.
So we're saying kind of like an OnLive style service, not like a Twitch type thing. This is like streaming.
Yeah,
to
no,
you?
streaming games to you to play, just like Gaikai.
Right. Okay. What if there's a better way? Yeah, they got a pitch video kind of, or just.
And they even point out that they're working with EVE Online to do some stuff.
Oh,
so,
weird.
Like,
Okay.
I'm just saying, because if you originally thought, well, if Amazon's getting into it, they're going to start with just mobile games. If you want to make a point that we're going not with just mobile games, you pick EVE Online.
Like a weird hardcore thing.
Exactly. What is the opposite of a easy social game? It's this monster Excel document game.
Yeah.
So, could be interesting, could be cool. Amazon is on tons of devices, so that would be real handy.
Mhm.
Just saying that.
All right.
We'll see what comes with that, I guess. But yeah, that's it for news.
I mean, like, there was, like, Titanfall came out, and there's, like, people talking about resolutions and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, like, news this week was stuff came out. Or Dark Souls 2. A lot of people were weighing in on that.
Yeah.
Which, I haven't played it. I don't know. Maybe it's great. There you go. That's what I have.
How much
All
motivation
right.
we all seem to have to play it.
Mm-hmm. You're right. That's it for news. Let's go on to the question segment.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Where do people send in our emails?
Topdownperspective@gmail.com is one of the places, but really Facebook's the place I go first, and I don't know why. I think it's just easiest. But you can, Top Down Perspective on there, or TDP Podcast on Twitter is another way.
That's
Or
the
you can
third
shout
option.
questions at us live every week. in
Yeah,
the
you can
chat.
do that right now, guys. If you have some questions,
Yeah.
send them somewhere.
Just-
Somewhere. Yeah, send them
Make the question
somewhere,
mark in it
and hopefully
so
they'll get to us.
they stand out. But any of those places would be good.
There's a guy in the chat named Pikmin Rock 1.
Mm-hmm.
His name reminds me that, Nathan, you still have my copy of Pikmin 3.
Yeah, actually, this camera is on top of it. It's helping out every week, but I should actually play it.
Yeah, you should take a look at that. All right, I got this first question. Actually, you know what? I have all the Twitter ones, so I'll go through some Twitter ones.
Okay.
All right, Junkie GS writes in with 2. The first one is, what motivates you guys in life?
Nothing.
Nothing. You're just perpetually motivated.
No, I'm not perpetually motivated. I'm the opposite. I'm just unmotivated perpetually. It's the depressing alternative.
Food is a good motivation. Just practically speaking, I'm saying, you need to eat.
So that's what gets you out of bed is just, I need to survive.
It's like, well, I'm actually hungry, so I might as well get up. And then, then I go and microwave some spaghetti or something.
That's almost as depressing as like John's.
Yeah.
Response.
Kind words. I don't know. Like, what motivates you, Sean?
I can't. I don't know. I'm a
Jobs?
pretty active person. Being healthy
Okay.
motivates
Do
me.
you want an actual answer or?
I think Junkie
Suit
GS
farm.
wants an actual answer.
Oh, probably. I don't know if you.
I don't know. He wants your answer, so maybe he already got his perfect response.
Maybe nothing was the answer he wanted all along. Trying to one up myself.
Okay.
Okay, so like some Matthew McConaughey Oscar speech. I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say like future John is his hero, and he's gonna outdo.
So were
For
people
10 years from now.
were people upset about that speech? I can't tell.
I don't think.
I
so.
thought he actually did a pretty good speech. Like,
Yeah, he seemed excited and.
pretty well spoken.
Mm-hmm.
And True Detective is a great show that just ended.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
Happiness, is that spelled correctly? Not like the Will Smith movie. Maybe that's one. Just
I'll say my friends motivate me.
okay.
All right, second question from Junkie GS. Are
Okay.
you guys interested in Yoshi's New Island? It has received poor ratings. Actually, sorry, it has received poor ratings? Did any of you play and enjoy Yoshi's Island DS?
I'm still gonna pick it up. I got it pre-ordered. Yeah, it's getting slammed. It's in like the low 60s on Metacritic right now.
It's
Okay.
not bad. Like,
Well,
man,
for a
game
Nintendo
reviews are
release.
weird.
For a Nintendo release.
I'm not hearing like it's awful. I'm just hearing really middle of the road generic platformer. But that's basically just based on one review. Polygon sort of liked it. They gave it 7.5.
Danielle, yeah.
That's
I played Yoshi Island DS, which I liked. That's actually the only Yoshi's Island game I played. But I got a copy coming to me, so.
hmm I've never been like. I mean, the original one I wasn't a super big fan of. So I don't know. I'm probably not gonna ever pick that one up.
Yeah, if you weren't a fan of the original, I don't see you ever being a fan of any of the other ones, because most people consider the SNES one the best out of all the ones, because Yoshi's Story, in my opinion, was too different from...
I didn't even hate that game. It was just really short. Like I remember.
Oh,
like,
yeah, no, Yoshi's Island crazy short.
Yoshi's Story.
Sorry, Yoshi's Story.
Yeah, my cousin and I rented it. It was just like, all right, well, it was like an hour or 2 hours or something. It was like not very long, but I don't know. It was not awful to me the way some people seem to feel about it. But yeah, Shy Guys. Man. So in answer to your question, no, I have no interest in it. But I didn't before the reviews came out. If it got like a 10, I would still be like, this just isn't my franchise. So I don't know. I didn't play DS either.
I didn't play the DS one. I was going to play it to get ready for the new one,
Mhm.
but Bravely Default in 98 hours.
Yep. Time.
Sean, did you play it?
I said, yeah, I played that one. That's the only one I played, remember?
Oh, sorry.
Next Twitter question, or is that it from over there?
That's it from... there's a whole bunch more Twitter questions, but I can keep going.
Yeah,
That
okay.
was it for Junkie GS. Okay, Brandon writes in, after heading into college, how much time did you guys have for video games?
A lot, oddly enough.
Yeah. Weirdly, more time than I do now.
Yeah.
So,
I've never understood why.
I actually no,
'Cause
I
I
do.
I will
Yes.
actually agree with that. I remember going off to university and being like, I'm playing games more than ever. Like,
Even when I
I
was
think it's
working
because-
a job, like it's still.
I don't know about the job one. Like working, like when I got like a full-time job, I play them less. But definitely in university, because I like going from high school where I was in school for like at least 6-7 hours a day, and
Yeah.
then going to like you have maybe 2 classes today, and they're an hour long each. It's like, okay, great.
This
I'll
changes
play
everything.
all these games.
Yeah. I'm gonna play all of the Oblivion, and then I'm gonna play Persona 4, a Guitar Hero. And yeah, no, there was a lot of gaming back then. But I don't know. Is this like looking for advice? Is like what should they do now?
I think that was probably just them kind of asking if that was the
Just
case.
in general, like maybe
Yeah.
maybe they're going to college soon. They're wondering like, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to play games anymore. I'm gonna be studying so much.
It's like maybe you should. Like I should be clear. I'm not sure my GPA was the greatest, but I had fun. So
Mine was
Yeah.
pretty good. I played so many games.
okay. So balance is everything.
Do you want me to keep going through Twitter questions then?
Yeah, let's just go through all the Twitter.
All right, here's a few from Meowth. The first one, by Allison. I am having trouble sleeping and going to sleep due to daylight savings time change. Any tips, Sean? Sleep tips. Well, I read before I go to bed. That definitely gets me tired.
Okay.
I find sometimes playing games is bad because I am using my, like I just Professor Layton recently. Not the best because I'm like problem solving right before bed, which is not the best idea. I've never really done anything like worried about like screen brightness against my eyes. And I do, I usually have a lamp on. I don't have the main light on right before I go to bed. But yeah, no, I'll go into bed like before, like an hour before I go to sleep, just to to settle down. That's kind of how I do it. That's my tips. What about you guys? Any sleep tips? Do you guys sleep well? I sleep pretty good.
My sleep schedule since daylight savings time has been kind of messed up. I woke up really late today.
Yeah, daylight savings messes up everyone's sleep schedule for at least the first couple days, and then after
mine
that,
was
it should be
fine.
fine.
Well, I don't know what's wrong with you guys.
Yeah,
I'm just stating.
Stayed up too late doing playing video games and being on Reddit, and the screen brightness of my phone does keep me up, so I shouldn't use it anymore. I've been starting to try to read books more to kind of wind down, like we said. So yeah, reading might be a good thing.
Yeah, they usually recommend if you're gonna go to bed, don't play a game like an hour before you go. Or it's like don't use any electronics. I think it's an hour or 2 hours before you go to bed, or something crazy like that. Because then like it lets your brain kind of wind down.
But how's that gonna work when we all got microchips in our brain?
Well, then it's not gonna work, and then we'll never sleep.
Yeah, like the Remember Me future. It's
I can't wait for that. That's gonna be great.
All the time.
Whole extra 12 hours or 8 hours, I guess I should say, for like playing games.
Yeah.
Like college all over again.
Get memory foam maybe. Might help.
All right, here's a second question. Should I buy the new South Park game to play it myself or just watch videos of it? I don't have a console that can play it. Well, then I don't understand how you could buy it for yourself.
Like, is it like?
Well,
is this
actually,
worth a
no, that's not
long-term
true. I do
investment?
understand how you could buy it for yourself. I don't understand how you would play it, so I'm going to not recommend that one.
Yeah.
With that said, I have bought games for consoles I don't own yet. So
if
I'm a liar.
your plan was always to get one of those consoles, and this is kind of, I don't know, motivator for that. That does seem like a bad idea.
I guess just kind of extrapolating this out, should you buy a game you're interested in or just watch videos of it? I think you should buy the game. That's how the industry survives.
If you're actually interested in, like, I want to play this, like, I like South Park, yeah, I wouldn't, like, I haven't watched any footage of the game, because, like, I know I'm eventually going to play it, I just don't have time right now, so.
I also understand that those jokes, a lot of them are kind of like one time off, like you go through it once and you're done.
Yeah.
So watching it will probably destroy any desire to want to play through it, because you've seen all the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But none of us have played the game.
That's weird, yeah, I know, another top-tier release that came out recently. But...
Honestly, I'm holding off on getting it because of Oblivion's track record. Or not Oblivion, Obsidian.
Obsidian.
Okay.
You know what? That kind of the same thing. If you think about it, they both kind of have glitchy issues.
Well, you know what? Paul has it on Steam.
He does.
Yep.
So as long as I can fix this sharing thing, I can check it out without worrying about it.
Which, speaking of which, John, you got to give me your account info again so I can keep it in my phone and fix things when I need to fix
All
things.
right, we'll do that after.
We'll sync up again.
Yeah.
All right, third question from Allison. Nathan,
Yeah.
I've run out of TV shows to watch.
Okay.
I'm watching Fairy Tale now, but do you have any suggestions for TV shows?
Well, I mean, it's been kind of detective time around here. Like, we watched True Detective, which was really good. But Top of the Lake seems really cool. It stars
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, it's a mini series, really. It's only 7 episodes, but it stars Elizabeth Moss, and it's set in New Zealand. It's kind of about a mystery down there.
And Hobbits?
No, just regular stuff, like cops and...
Regular stuff doesn't happen in New Zealand.
What?
I know. I mean, some of it's kind of weird. Like, there's this kind of commune that's riling up some of the local rednecks. It's weird, but I don't know. That show's been pretty cool. Trying to think what... Louie. I really like Louie. It's a good show. Mad Men. It's a good show. I'm watching Sopranos right now, which late to that, but it seems pretty good. But I don't know. I know Meowth's mostly.
These are all like
Yeah.
keep age restrictions in mind, folks.
I guess, yeah. These are all kind of some of them, The Sopranos especially, but I know Meowth's mostly into like anime and such. I'm trying to think if I have anything from my background that like she might.
Pokemon's on
not
Netflix now.
Pokemon is on Netflix. It's true.
There you go. There's the show recommendation.
No, that's not what I said.
Go watch season 1 of Pokemon on Netflix.
Fooly Cooly is good, and Penny and Stocking, but she may have seen those already. I don't know.
All
That's all I
right.
got.
Last question from Allison. I'm done with Brave the Default. And now for the last question from Allison.
Yep.
No, I'm just any suggestions for 3DS games I should play? I like story-driven games with funny writing. Then you want Ghost Trick.
Well,
For
she's
3DS.
3DS though.
Hey,
Well, you
Zero
can still
Escape.
play it.
Zero Escape: Virtue's Last Reward is on 3DS. It's pretty awesome.
Funny writing.
It's occasionally funny, but
Kid
mostly.
Icarus had pretty good writing.
That's not like a story-driven game.
Well, no, but I mean, like,
Ooh, what about
the problem is you usually get one or the other. You don't usually get both.
I know,
What
I was
about-
just trying to think, what's a good story-driven game? Hotel Dusk. No, wait, that's about a murder.
Mario and Luigi? Was that kind of funny? Those
Yeah,
are
okay,
usually
fair
kinda
enough.
funny.
That's actually, that's not a bad choice.
Um,
See, the problem is, like, all those, like, story-driven games I'm thinking of are, like, Shin Megami Tensei 4, and that's not a comedy.
That's why I'm thinking Ghost Trick fits the bill.
Ghost Trick
I
and the
will
Phoenix Wright
endorse Ghost
Phoenix
Trick.
Wright games.
but-
There is a Phoenix Wright game on the 3DS.
Phoenix Wright games. Yeah, Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, I guess I thought she had
Press
those
Awakening
already.
is whimsical, and the stories are usually pretty good.
hmm Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to
I am
steer over
literally
there.
looking through my 3DS games right now, trying to think of one that's got like really funny writing. Fire Emblem Awakening had some good writing, but it might not be your bag.
I didn't really think it was that funny. Like,
All
Okay.
all the side stuff is the funny stuff. You know?
Elite Beat Agents is hilarious, but there's no story to it.
Well, well, yeah, there is, but it's just ridiculous. The little mini stories.
But they're the tiny little stories, but I would not say it's a story-driven game.
No.
But it is hilarious.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Like, how do you feel about Luigi's Mansion? Is that funny? Do you think it's funny?
I would not say that's story-driven. Like, what's the story? Mario's gone?
I don't even think
Done.
he is in that one. It's just we need to stop these ghosts because
No, yeah, he is. Isn't he
Yeah.
like trapped in a painting or something?
No,
That's in
that's
the
the
first
first
one.
one you mentioned.
that's that was my issue with the game. Is like the story was like, why is Luigi even doing
No,
this?
Mario's totally missing in the DS
He's
3DS
not.
one.
He's not.
No, it's EGAD is doing ghost research, and then they all turn mad because one of the crystals broke, and then he's like, I need to hire these ghost butlers again.
Oh yeah,
So
no, you're right.
sort
That's
them
right.
out. It's like
Okay.
that was my I was like, what is this story? This doesn't make any sense. His brother isn't even missing. So what are we doing?
That's kind of sad that this Luigi game sucks because Mario's not in it.
Yeah. Where's your big brother? That's
It's
what
like
I'm
it's
hearing.
GameCube launcher again.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh hey, that Zelda game, but I don't know.
The Juker writes in: are there any game series that you think could really use a reboot or another sequel? I'm
Devil
gonna say
May
Prince
Cry.
of Persia.
Another reboot.
I was gonna say Prince of Persia,
Yeah, it's
That
been a
technically
long
got
time.
one.
Yeah.
but I almost don't want them to do another reboot because I really liked that last reboot.
Well, like the 2008 reboot, not Forgotten Sands or whatever, right? Because that was just another
Well,
sequel.
Forgotten Sands wasn't a reboot. It was just, hey, do you remember Sands of Time? Here's
Yeah,
another
yeah,
one of those.
Yeah. So you want a 2008 follow-up. Like the
Yeah.
Pop '08 is what people say. Sure. I mean, I did finish that game. I just wasn't as enamored by it.
And as always, I'm waiting on Burnout Paradise 2.
Oh, yeah, which now with the current state of Criterion, who knows? But yeah, another Burnout game.
Well, actually, I follow them on Twitter, and they've been lately tweeting, like, hey, we're doing stuff, but I keep thinking, like, you're like 15 people now.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
They lost that many people off Criterion?
Well, a bunch
Well,
of them
it's like
turned into
Ghost.
Ghost Games, so that team still, or, well, not the Burnout Paradise team, but the original, but the most recent Criterion team still exists as Ghost Games, and then, like, 15 of them kept the Criterion name. So
Oh.
I don't... It's Ghost Games is what you should be looking at for, like, the main focus of that studio.
I guess Darksiders. Like, what happened to it? Is it just
Darksiders 2.
Darksiders 2 happened, but I mean, there was going to be more.
THQ disappeared, remember?
Yeah, so does whoever has the rights now plan to ever make more, or is it just...
I don't know.
No one actually bought the rights.
Okay, but I thought the developer eventually got acquired.
I think Vigil was separated from the rights.
I know there was, like, right after the auction, it was kind of one of those big question marks. It's like, wait, why was this left here? But I thought someone acquired it eventually.
It got acquired for, like, stupid cheap, and I don't remember if it was the same company that bought Vigil or if it's just, like, some other company now has access to Darksiders. I have no idea what happened to that license.
Nordic Games has it, but yeah, I don't know.
Do they own Vigil now, or who owns Vigil?
Purchased the rights to Darksiders, Red Faction, MTX. It doesn't mention anything about Vigil, so yeah, they might have been separated from their own thing. So maybe it's like it'll be one of those spiritual successor type things, you know. But like, you know, System Shock and Bioshock are different, but you know, come on, it'll be like that. I don't know. I'd like that to come back because I was actually enjoying those for the most part. The first one especially, but maybe. I don't know. I'm just trying, you know, looking at recent examples. A reboot though, Wario's Woods should come back. They should do that again.
I don't need that.
You don't need it
for another one of was it Wario Land where he's punching stuff?
There's a bunch of Wario games I never played. Like there's the Wario's World on GameCube, right?
I was just when you said bunch of Wario games, I was thinking, oh, there's that GameCube one. What was that?
Yeah, Wario World.
Yeah, I never played
where he's
that.
Like coming out of the coins or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one.
There was like the Shake It on Wii. I never played that.
That one's great.
Was it?
I heard it was really good.
No, Smooth Moves is what I'm thinking of. Which one was Shake It?
Yeah, I know. Smooth Moves.
Shake It's the platforming one.
Oh, okay. I didn't play that one.
Sequel kind of thing. I played a bit of Wario Land 4, but I haven't played a lot of Wario Land games. More Wario. That's what I want. Get on Nintendo. And then, you know, Waluigi obviously comes packaged with that, so John's dream game only.
Yeah, there you go. Waluigi.
Which, speaking of which, Daisy kind of in the same position as Waluigi, if you think about it.
Princess Daisy?
Yeah.
Daisy was at least in a platforming game, though, even if it was just as the person to be saved.
Well, maybe Waluigi should at least be the person to be saved at one time.
Yeah. I'm sure Mario and Luigi will get right on that.
Hey, I'm just saying, going for gender equality here. Sometimes you can have a guy in distress.
Dude, Uniracers should come back.
Actually, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Kirby Air Ride.
Yeah.
And where's my third Sonic Air Rush, whatever that thing was? Freestyle? What was that game called?
Sonic
Riders. Where's my third one of those?
That's what the Kinect one was, technically, even though it was just
Wasn't it the second one?
No, that was the third one, but it was a remake of the first one for Kinect.
What was the second one?
Sonic Riders and Sonic Free Riders were the two.
Free Riders is the Kinect one.
You sure?
There's only two. There's only two.
I'm pretty sure Sean's right.
As the Sonic Riders expert, which is basically 2 rounds of the GameCube one, and then I just hated that thing. Anyway, last question on from the Twitter account.
Yeah.
Anais writes in, is there any game you guys have come close to beating but never finished? I have a few of those. Tales of Vesperia, I'm at the final dungeon. Final Fantasy III on the DS, I'm at the final dungeon. Final Fantasy X, I'm at the final dungeon.
I'm noticing a trend here.
I did that for like 2 years.
I think that's all I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay.
So
but Tales of Vesperia is because I don't want that game to ever end in my heart.
Okay.
Final Fantasy III is I'm not grinding for your bullshit.
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy X is I'm
Same
not
thing.
grinding for your bullshit.
Yeah, I was like stalled at the end of that game for like a year and change, and eventually did just grind through the bullshit and finished it. But yeah, that happened. Evolution Worlds is one. It was like a Sega RPG that I am on the final boss battle on a GameCube memory card somewhere, and just didn't ever finish it because I was
the final boss of the first game or the second game? Because Evolution Worlds was 2 games in one.
The second one. I did the first ending, and I'm on to the end of the game. I'm pretty sure. I think. I don't know. Now I'm concerned. But yeah, that game.
I'm sure.
Does this ever happen?
I'm
Yeah.
sure that there's a bunch of games. Before we jump over, Sonic Riders Zero Gravity is the actual sequel to Sonic Riders. Sonic Free Riders, you are correct, is the Kinect game.
Zero Gravity. I'm looking at the Sonic Free Riders page, and it says it
Wait,
is a
Zero
sequel.
Gravity is the second one you're saying?
Yeah,
So there's 3.
yeah.
Okay. How is there 3 of those games?
To be fair, Free Riders is just the remake of the first one for Kinect. So
Yeah, no, sorry. Free Riders came out after Zero Gravity.
Yeah.
I remember,
So
like,
they
yeah,
went
I played like
original
1 or
sequel
2
remake.
rounds of that first one, and then you like ran out of hover, and you had to run around off your board, and I was like, this is the dumbest game I've ever played.
I don't remember that, and I beat that game.
I was probably playing it wrong or something, but I was just like, this is a racing game. How can I run out of hover?
Oh, I think like you use like your whole energy meter or something like that, and like there's a way you have to like, or got knocked off or something. There is a way that
And
can
you have to
happen.
like run back to some like hover station while everyone is whizzing past you. I remember just being like, this is garbage. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Oh
Games
yeah,
supposed to be beaten.
games we haven't beaten. Mario Luigi Superstar, or not Superstar, Dream Team. I got to the final area and then didn't finish it because I started playing, I think, Link Between Worlds or something else.
Okay.
Basically, it happens to me a lot. That's just the most recent one I can think of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all I got. The Evolution one is the one that stands in my memory. RPGs.
All right, we got a few in the chat. I'm just gonna go through so I don't lose them.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jacobs says, "What's your favorite Metroid game?" I'm not a big Metroid fan.
Fusion.
The GBA ones were really good.
If we're going off the ones I played the most of, it's actually Other M.
For me, like the one I played the most of, and it just hit at the exact right time for me. It was the first Prime. I was just like enamored with that game, so I might actually have to go with that retro game. So
Okay.
yeah, like I played Super and all that too, but I don't know. Yeah, the later ones, some of those were pretty awesome. Metroid.
All right, and this last one I'm seeing in the chat from Library Cuff Paluadian 007.
Calibrary Cuff Paladine 007.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is? That a thing?
That's a Runaway Guys reference.
Okay, there you go. Okay. What's your most watched upcoming game for this year?
I don't really follow that much extra content on a game that I want, if that makes any sense. I'll watch a trailer and that'd be about it. So by that logic, probably either the new Smash Brothers or Bayonetta 2.
Oh man, apparently
right.
the chat was like frozen for me because now 100
Sorry.
things are coming in.
Yeah, you mentioned Smash Brothers, and I was just like, oh, right, it just got announced for EVO 2014. Melee is going to be back. So there you go. Bonus news story. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like stuff coming out this year that like Arkham Knight I'm probably going to play, but I'm not, like,
All right, that is this year, technically.
fierce interest. But I've been looking forward to Hotline Miami 2 for a long time, so that'll finally come out this year.
Transistor?
Oh yeah, that's this year.
Yeah.
A lot of
All right, 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get hyped. I was
Is
waiting
that-
for Titanfall, but that's out now. So.
The Witness?
I'm looking forward to The Witness. That's true. Is X this year though? The Wii U game? Is that
No, they haven't had a date on that.
okay?
People are hoping it's this year, but I haven't got my hopes up for it.
Yeah, I mean, like some of the high-profile ones are like Watch Dogs and such, but I have not been jonesing.
I'm looking forward to Watch Dogs.
Okay, that's fair. Like I don't know. It just was never kind of the thing I was feverishly anticipating. So yeah, I'll just stick with Hotline Miami 2.
All right, let's go through the Facebook questions.
Okay. This one's here is from Christopher. If you could wipe one game from the history books and have it be remade today, what would it be? So this game never existed when it originally existed, but it just comes out now.
So this is a game that was like maybe underappreciated.
It's just like ahead of its time or something, or just it couldn't realize its vision, but you saw the potential, so then you can pluck it from then and
The
put it
Sega
down.
Dreamcast, just a console.
Just the whole console. Just
That just
dropped.
made me think like almost like most GameCube games. Because if you think about it, it was like no one liked Wind Waker. It came out last year, and everyone was flipping out for
Oh my
Wind
God,
Waker.
this
No
game's
one liked
amazing.
Luigi's Mansion. Came out last year, everyone was flipping out for it.
Right, so maybe what you were saying, I know maybe a little jokingly, but if Air Ride came out right now, just melt people's minds. It's just like, oh, Kirby racing game.
Kirby,
Maybe.
yeah, he's grinding on that rail.
Yeah, it's flying on the star. And it's got like 6 different games in it. It was just this weird thing. It's like top-down racing, like battle mode. Who knows? Maybe it's maybe
Stand by.
pretty
The
fun.
GameCube is where Nintendo tried all their weird stuff, and everyone took a shit on them.
Yeah, and then they're like, fine, we'll just do lame minigame stuff.
And now we have Fart Button coming to Mario Kart 8.
Yep.
So I'm
It's
just
like
saying,
all y'all didn't buy GameCubes. It's your fault.
this is why we get the Fart Button coming to the, yeah, that's why. There you go.
Mhm.
Circle of Life.
Yeah,
Hakuna
I'm trying to,
Matata.
like, honestly think if there's a game that was just like, why did this happen then?
Well, okay, Senti Roast in the chat just said, Tales of Symphonia was horrible. You are wrong, sir, and I will fight you.
Okay.
Yeah, what was wrong with Symphonia? I thought it was good.
I don't know. He may have been... Wait, maybe he's saying it's actually good. I'm just saying, Tales of Symphonia is great.
What was that weird evolution game, Cubivore?
Yeah.
That sounded rad, but maybe with online and stuff, it would make more sense, or
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea.
or something like just things like fuck it from then
Cubivore
and
is
put it
rare,
down.
so like you're lucky to find someone with it.
You know, I
No,
bet
I've
Chibi
seen it.
Robo would do better now.
Chibi
Robo?
Robo had a new game like a month ago, though.
Yeah, but it was like a photo hunt thingy. I bet if like the first Chibi Robo came out now,
Mm-hmm.
I bet it could do good just because, you know, Animal Crossing had so much hype last year. This is kind of a simulation kind of thingy, too.
Right. Like, I'm thinking like Silent Hill Shattered Memories, maybe. Like, it's like post people getting into horror games with the amnesia and stuff. I don't know. Just didn't seem to get appreciated proper. But, yeah.
Mirror's Edge.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
they're
right.
taking another crack at it. Like,
Yeah.
they are.
You're
They
right.
are, but I mean, like, it should have
Because
come
Mirror's Edge came out during a time when short video games were just like the worst thing you could do. Now everyone's used to short games. But yeah, if Mirror's Edge came out now, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
It's even got like a strong female protagonist. People would be adoring that game.
I guess that's kind of one of the things that I was curious about with Remember Me, because like people weren't really fawning over it, and it does have a strong female protagonist and does a lot of those things people have been talking about, but I don't know. Oh, dude, Project Number 3. I want that done well. That was actually
I don't even know what that is.
It was like a dance-based sci-fi action game on like Shinji Mikami worked on it. It was on GameCube. It was one of those
Okay.
Capcom 5 that ended up being like 3 games.
Yeah, it was called PN03 technically, but like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
under.
It sounds familiar.
It was kind of neat. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's worse than I remember, but I remember being kind of like...
I've heard people say it's the worst of the Capcom 5 that we got.
Probably, but just the idea of dance fighting. I like that. So...
Because I mean, if you think about it, the other games in the Capcom 5, there's one that we never got, and then there's Resident Evil 4, Killer 7, and Beautiful Joe.
Right. It was like Dead Phoenix or Phoenix Rising or something weird.
Something like that, yeah. I think didn't we have this discussion like 2 weeks ago
We always talk about Capcom 5. It's our favorite topic here.
on the Top 10 perspective.
Yeah. Never forget. GameCube. Good times. Oh, and
Next
Andrew.
question?
Sorry. I guess bolt on to that question. Christopher kind of just wanted to make sure we knew that Hideo Kojima was talking about Silent Hill recently.
Ooh.
And he very much wants him to direct a follow-up, I guess.
I would like to see a Silent Hill game done by him. That would be kind of awesome.
Yeah, I guess there was like some Twitch interview or something where he's kind of acknowledged that that is a thing people want, and maybe he's interested. Andrew writes in with, have any of you guys played Infinity Blade 3 for iDevices? If so, thoughts on it? I have it, and if it would stop crashing, it would be a 20/20 for me, which is a weird scale, but I kind of liked it.
It
was
has
like-
perfect vision.
Yeah, this is a perfect game.
I haven't played any of Infinity Blade. I have 1 and 2 on my iPad. I haven't ever played them.
I played the first one quite a bit, and then I got the second one when I still had a 3GS, and it was crashing a lot, so I never played it. And then, yeah, like, I didn't even know there was a third one, so I haven't really checked them out in a while. They're kind of like Punch-Out, but with swords, and you die and go back and do the same thing over and over because your bloodline keeps going. Kind of like Rogue Legacy style, maybe, I guess would be an example now. But, they're kind of fun. I have not played one since, like, I'd have to play 2 first. Like, I have an Infinity Blade game just sitting around, basically waiting to be played. So, yeah, I haven't looked up, but it's cool that they're still making those. Although, sort of. However, I think I am now willing to align myself with the people that are like, why is Cheer wasting their time on this? Make a Shadow Complex sequel. That's what you should have actually done, you know? That was a more interesting game than Infinity Blade. But, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go through the email questions here.
Oh man, we had more questions than we thought today.
Yeah, but everything else was shorter. Like, we're still under our usual limit.
Fair
There's,
enough.
there's a few in here. These first few are from Chillin' Chum, and he actually wrote a lot, so I'm trying to just summarize them. The first question is, basically, would we be up for doing voice questions, audio questions?
I know we're doing that on Pixel Response because Paul has set up kind of this voicemail box for it or whatever. I don't know how he did that or whatnot.
I don't know how he does that either, and I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I believe you just set up a Skype account, and then people just call the Skype account and leave a voice message.
But will that function into Google Hangouts?
Probably not. We'd have to work out some way to play it as an audio file.
That's the thing, yeah. So
I'm sure it can be done.
Or people could email like a MP3 or something, but I don't know how we play it on the air.
exactly, I'm thinking of the
Stitch it
playing
in.
thing and stuff. So
Like we listened to it beforehand, so now we're going to answer it, and then in the audio
but that would kind of
version,
suck, because what's the point of sending the audio question in?
Yeah.
it will be heard, just not live. Yeah, it's a terrible idea. I don't know.
And then, okay, his second question is kind of, it's for John,
Okay.
and it seems to be like best ways to ask John questions just in general.
What?
Kind of through all of his work.
Like is
He
Form
says
Spring not happening?
he says ever since
anymore?
you stopped posting on FormSpring and Ask.fm, it's been difficult to ask you questions and expect an answer. Q&A on your streams is impossible, even if you spam the chat. Is there some kind of add-on for Nightbot so that questions get queued in a separate list? Kind of like how a song request feature works. It would make everyone's life so much easier, and I wouldn't have to ask you here about things that have nothing to do with the Top 10 Respected podcast.
I don't know. That's not a bad idea. I might see if that can be done with Nightbot.
What happened to Form Spring? Like I knew it was gonna die, and then it didn't.
Yeah, but that's the problem, is because it was gonna die and they had like a countdown and everything, everyone left it. So, yeah. I think it's still around.
Weird.
I know a lot of people are using Tumblrs now for question things.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I just need to make a Tumblr account just for like questions.
Yeah. What's Nightbot?
Nightbot is a chatbot in my stream.
And it works for song selections or something? You
Yeah,
have it
but
set
I
up?
don't have that enabled, but I mean it can be done.
Oh, okay. He then writes another question, and I don't really know what this is. Are there any plans for a TV tropes page for TDP? What is that?
TV Tropes is a page devoted, kind of like a Wikipedia, kind of like analyzes all your work and like adds like little things like, oh, this is a funny moment from this show, stuff like that. I've got one for Let's Playing, and so does like one of my guys and everyone else.
Oh,
Do
weird.
you manage that? Like, will I have to?
No,
do you have to-
fans do that.
Well, hey, fans want to do it. Like, go right ahead. No one's stopping you.
But we should create it, you're saying, and then just say here it is.
Or no,
you don't
you're
have
saying.
to. If they want to do it, they will do it.
Oh, well, then
okay.
if people want to do that, go ahead. We're not gonna like shit on your TV tropes page about us.
So wait, if I like search Twin Peaks, it'll say which episode this happened and stuff.
Sorta, yeah.
Okay.
His next question is, it's basically how would he write a drinking game for top down perspective? However, he doesn't want people to die of alcohol poisoning. So I guess the question is, what are some common things like patterns that we do, but not the major ones? Because he doesn't. It's weird because I understand a drinking game is you pick like the biggest patterns. But he wants to pick like the second biggest patterns because he doesn't want people to go crazy. I'm going to turn this question into what are some patterns that we do on this show? You know, speech patterns, or you know what I mean?
I was gonna say Nathan gets like super obsessed with a game, like every couple months.
Well, I
Right,
guess, but
yeah.
that's like a one-off deal, you know. But like, are you saying like
Right.
men not get obsessed with a game? Like, if a game's shown
It
up,
has to be
on
something
2
that
weeks in a
would
row-
happen like almost every episode, kind of, or multiple times in an episode. So like,
Okay, so Warriors Woods, Capcom 5.
yeah, if Warriors Woods comes up, you know, if we mention Burnout Paradise or Ghost Trick, kind of.
Yeah.
Ghost Trick has
Take
popped
a
up
drink.
a lot. Yeah.
Um, anytime Nathan doesn't realize we're live yet, but starts the show off,
Okay.
That's more for us though.
that's more for us, but that happens often enough.
If it's every time we say this episode would be killer. Like,
Oh,
We
man.
probably do that a lot, because that's just, you know, those are
humming
speech
and
habits.
hawing. Yeah, yeah.
Every time the camera switches on the feed, take a small step.
No, that's
Basically,
dangerous.
anytime someone makes a noise that wasn't just talking. I'm trying to think if there's any things we do.
Like Nicolas Cage used to come up more, but he hasn't.
I don't know. I feel like it's also hard for maybe us to pick some things out because we're so used to having discussions with one another that it's probably just second nature.
Right. Like
Yeah.
if someone's
But-
noticing the patterns, then they can.
Right. I'm sure fans probably notice things we do that we don't because we're just so used to talking to one another. So you might have to come up with your own game. All right. This next question's from Cody.
Okay.
We only have 2 left here on the emails. I know I hear you guys talk about mobile games from time to time, but do any of you check out the IGN free game of the month? They give out free iOS games, and this month it was Prince of Persia: The Shadow and the Flame, which I recommend checking out. It's free, so you have no reason not to. I definitely do. I actually follow a number of free app hookup kind of things, and I did download Prince of Persia when it was free last week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really check like promotional kind of. This game's free this week or that kind of thing. I used to more so, but like I don't.
I
have
follow
a lot of
like
storage
it's like
space.
app hookup on Reddit or something like that, or iOS
Okay.
Gaming, and they'll usually post something when things are free. I also highly recommend the app. I think it's like App Shopper or Smart Shopper, where you
Mhm.
can basically make a wish list, and if it ever goes down in price or whatnot, you'll get a push notification.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of always know when the apps I'm interested in are go on sale, which is quite great.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, that Prince of Persia game's free at the moment, or I don't know if it is anymore, but it was. So I haven't played it yet.
Do you know what manner of game is it? Like, is it just an?
It's like the
or
old
something, or-
side-scrolling Prince of Persia games.
Yeah, Shadow and the Flame is the second Prince of Persia game.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, it's supposed to be like a sequel to one of those.
Yeah, Shadow and the Flame is the second Prince of Persia game.
It is just the second one, like a
Yeah, Prince of Persia 2 is called the Shadow and the Flame.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Sweet.
And okay, so this last email, Thomas writes, "Hey guys, what do you think of the growing trend of release games in alpha? Obviously, releasing betas have been around for a while, but it seems that more often games are now being released that are significantly far away from completion. Do you find this to be bad form, especially since the game makers are often asking people to pay for their alphas?"
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess I do kind of prefer it when a game is just, hey, this is out and it's finished and you can play it. But like, I mean, like, I've been meaning to play Starbound, but I haven't yet because it's not done. Same with Mercenary Kings because it's not done. You know, so I guess like anticipating the release date isn't the same as it used to be, where it's just like this doesn't even exist in any form until a specific day, and that is the day everyone can jump in and start talking about it. So yeah, I don't know. Like,
I feel like there are positives to it because there are people who are, I'm one of them, who are interested in games before they're fully completed. That's
Sure.
an interesting fact. Also, it could be good from like a capacity standpoint of can our game support this many people playing it,
mm-hmm.
as
I
it
guess it
kind of
does-
works up slowly.
And it can kind of result in more like atypical design structures, like not just like this is a linear story game or something. It's like, no, this is just a weird mechanics thing that we are working on, like actively developing like a weird multiplayer game. Like DayZ is still interesting to me in theory, but every time I've played it, I've kind of had a mediocre time. But I'm still glad it's there, and hopefully.
But then on the other hand,
grow into something.
you get stuff like, well, we've already gotten a ton of money from this alpha. What incentive is there for us to finish it?
I
And
get,
then
I
you
get
can
the
get
feeling
into-
no one's done that.
But then you can get into a spiral, and this was something similar, like even Gmail did this, where they claimed it was in beta for years,
Mhm.
even when it was like a total norm, mail client. Because if anything goes wrong, you can just fall back on, well, hey, it's in beta.
It's a beta. It's a
So,
beta. It's not even done.
If the developer has no incentive to finally put a stamp on it, they can always just say, yeah, of course it broke. It's an alpha or whatever, and that's not good for anyone.
Right. I mean, I guess no one has just taken the money and run flagrantly that I know of, but like I do, like the lead designer of DayZ is kind of burnt out and is going to quit eventually, but he hasn't left yet. So I don't know. Or Notch, he left essentially, like he's not working on Minecraft actively anymore. He kind of is set.
Yeah, but that's been out of beta for an alpha and
It
beta a long
has.
time.
That's true. I guess I'm just, trying to think of like mainstream examples or something. I don't know. John.
But I could see it being totally normal if someone was developing a game, released it as alpha, and then just decided, I'm not interested in this. I'm going to stop working on it. And even it's not like he said, give me your money, and I promise I will finish this. He was saying, give me your money. You'll have access to an alpha of a game.
Yeah.
It's not. There's there's no rule set in place of if you sell an alpha, you need to finish it. For all we know, the people could just be like, I want to make something else, but now are they obligated to keep working on a project they're not interested in because
And then
some
you'll
people
get
paid for,
they won't have passion for it anymore.
What are you paying
so-
for when you buy your way into an alpha? Are you paying for the version it is now? Are you paying for a somewhat broken experience? Are you paying for a product to come later? It's such a mixed bag.
Yeah. I mean, it's like big games, like MMOs was kind of a thing that would be for a long time, like where it would come out and be kind of broken, but then eventually fix itself and figure itself out. But yeah, now that more and more genres are kind of seeing that, I don't know. I definitely don't get as excited. Rust is a popular game right now, I guess. I'm not really looking at it because it's just not. I don't know what it is yet. It's kind of amorphous. Like Goddess, I have, but I haven't really checked that out. So, I guess
I checked
my
that out,
personal-
and I kind of had the issue, and I don't play a lot of alpha games because mainly it's well, if I'm interested in a game, I'd rather just see it when it's done and play all of it. Because as someone who moves from games to games so quickly, I can burn out on games really fast, or I can get to points where I'm I felt like I've played it. I'd rather spend the next hour of my life doing something different than just repeating possibly 90% of the same things, which is why a lot of times I don't play demos, because if I'm that interested in the game to download a demo, I'd rather just get the game and play it.
Mm-hmm.
So I played through Goddess. I didn't really have that great of a time. I'm probably never going to go back, even if they have drastically changed it now, because I've already spent that chunk of my devoted time to it.
Yeah, it is kind of a weird thing. I'm thinking it's a little bit different, but with Kickstarter and all that kind of access you get, to some extent, seeing the game develop and being a part of the development might be your thing. You might be kind of excited about that in a way I'm just not. I don't have the expertise or whatever really to weigh in on that. So I could have been participating way more in the Broken Age stuff that was going on, but I kind of just wasn't. I was just waiting for the game to come out, and then it came out, and I was really happy with it. But yeah, I guess you kind of almost want to know the developer first and foremost. It's just before you can buy with confidence. You're just
That's not usually an option though, because a lot of companies that do alphas are first timers or startups.
Right, that makes me think
they can support it.
But Mercenary Kings is that's the Scott Pilgrim people, so you could be all right, I trust those guys. There's some track record.
Right. I try and think of an example of like, hey, what's an alpha that I would be like actually, interested enough that I'd want to see iterations on it. And I have to think of like some of my favorite franchises. Like they were coming up with a new Professor Layton. I would love to see how they're kind of trying to put together that story before it's fully together. Or if they were, Burnout Paradise 2 was coming out, I'd love to see kind of how they were structuring a new world and stuff before that happened. But then I think of, let's just say no-name indie developer comes along. They don't have enough money to finish their game, but they have enough money to get an alpha out there. Hopefully people pay enough for the alpha that can fund the rest of the game. I don't know if I want to play that. I don't know what you are. And, a lot of people have to take chances all the time. And I guess that's where, reviewers and whatnot come into play to say, no, you should look into this alpha and stuff.
Right.
I'm sure there are tons of developers who are using that alpha access as, if we don't release this for some money, we're not going to get to beta. We're not going to get to final.
I keep thinking of FTL. Like, that is a game that I would never have really looked at. But then it came out, and everyone was excited about it, and it was like, okay, good. But, I wouldn't have backed that Kickstarter probably because it would have been such an abstract concept. It's just like, oh, a strategy space game? No thanks. So, yeah, it's kind of, plus you might appeal to people before, you kind of build a fan base before anything's happening yet. But I guess the negative, you might just kind of alienate people, or just, a lot of people might not.
It's an interesting idea. It's completely opposite of, first impression. Put your best foot forward. It's the entire 180 of that. It's, I need to put my worst foot forward so that I can put my best foot forward later. It's
you just gotta trust me. Yeah, it's kind of a weird.
The best is yet to come. And it's like, well, I'm paying now. So, it's personal preference. And yeah, you just mentioned a good point with FTL, and I feel like that's, there's a game journalism is a big important. You gotta get the word out there, and that's why we have reviewers and whatnot. So
that almost seems what it is. It's like professional previewers or something now, where they're playing all this ocean of weird stuff and then highlighting this one's actually good, and it's like, okay, good, thank you for trimming that down to
Well, that's we've always had PR people, and they talk to people. Who have podcasts and whatnot, and they send out versions of games like, hey, please talk about this game to get some word of mouth out there, right? We've all had that, so.
I guess it just seems like there's more, but they're smaller. But I don't know if that's fair or not. But anyway, okay. I've rambled on. It's weird.
Well, that was a good
weird
question
times.
to end on.
Yeah, holy cow.
So, once again, if people want to send us questions, what do they do? I'm all out of water.
Four ways? 4 ways. TopDownPerspective@gmail.com. At TDP Podcast on Twitter. Just Top Down Perspective Facebook page. And the live chat on YouTube.
Live chat on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah. You could also post them in your iTunes review, but that'd be a really weird way of doing it.
Are we still behind?
As far as I know.
RuneScape.
Also, just other weird old podcasts.
For some reason, I was thinking Neverwinter Nights this time.
It's like last
New
time
game every week is beating us.
some weird RPG podcast.
When was the last time there was a Neverwinter Nights game?
Before Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't that also Obsidian, the second one?
Yeah, actually, I think so.
Yeah. Another glitchy game, but supposed to be
Games of the Week.
Oh yeah, Games of the Week.
Oh, I'm still enjoying Bravely Default, and I didn't play enough Donkey Kong Country.
Okay.
Mine's Professor Layton and the Azeron Legacy.
Mine's probably Remember Me.
Cool.
Even though it's one of those kind of cable movie tier, but it's fun.
Sci-Fi Channel.
Kind of, but a little bit better than that. Total
right.
Recall remake, but better. A little bit better. It is okay. It's kind of cool. Sci-fi.
All right, cool. We'll see everybody next week. I'm gonna go to Los Angeles tomorrow.
All right.
I'm gonna sleep.
I might go to the movies tomorrow.
I'm gonna go to sleep too.
Wow. All right.
Later, guys.
And bye, everybody.